Story of content and pain. Ooh yeah, story of content and pain. You gotta nurture that lead. Lead. How to create a great SaaS lead magnet. You know, most people are frustrated because people come to their website and they don't sign up. They don't connect. There's no way for them to communicate with them after they leave. And the way to solve that is to build something, a lead magnet, that entices the customer, the potential customer, to download and trade their email for your content. That'll give you the opportunity to nurture them along their buying journey and eventually get them back to your product. But how do you create something that's attractive to the customer? You know, I recently had a conversation with an entrepreneur that built, essentially it was a software for architects to manage land and create new property projects, etc. And they were trying to figure out how do they communicate with their potential customer. And the whole long conversation came down to what is the primary pain of your customer? What is the challenge? I'm going to walk you through how to think through these lead magnets, but what is the thing they need solved today that if they came to your website, it may not be your product, but it gets them into your world by giving you their email for the content. And he realized that it was people that own land that want to figure out the right project to monetize that land. So he could literally create a lead magnet with 13 monetizing strategies for landowners and just run ads for people that have land. He could even get the list of all the landowners in a city and actually run mail, direct mail to those people with that value prop, that piece of content, that information, because if they have that pain and he has an architecture software that's going to allow them to design the right project, they would be an ideal customer. But you need to figure out, many products out there, many lead magnets don't actually address a primary pain. They just talk about desires and needs. And I want to walk you through the 3 key characteristics of an incredible lead magnet. The first one is to focus on a specific area. And many people just focus on passion. So they're like, here's ways to get better at something. Here's ways to accomplish something. Those are great, but they're more passion focused, right? It's kind of inspirational. They're not solving a specific problem. The second area you can look at is discomfort. What is something that could be true in their world as a business owner, as a person, that provides discomfort that you might be able to relieve through your lead magnet? The third and the most powerful, I think, from a real good conversion is a fear. What is the fear that they might have? A fear of failure, a fear of, you know, it depends on your customer segment. It could be a fear of not monetizing the right property or land, but really focusing on the fear, not the passion, not the discomfort, but really the fear of the customer's mindset. That's the opportunity. So that's number 1, is focus. Number 2 is the needs, okay? There's different types of needs. On the low end, it's not very powerful, is interest. They might have an interest in something. They might want to learn more about something, but it's more on the interest level. On the second one is a strong desire. So maybe they have an interest and then they have a desire to learn more. Or maybe it's like a strong desire. But to me, it's not something that's even more powerful than that, which is urgent. They have a primary pain and an urgent need to resolve that. You know, recently I had a friend of mine buy a puppy, and he came home after being at work all day, and the puppy literally tore apart their apartment. So he had a urgent need for something that was a fear, which is the next day him doing it again, to potty train or puppy train the dog. Okay, so if you had content around that, even if he wasn't ready to buy your software around training your dog, you could get him to exchange his email for that information. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you guys how to test if your idea is truly awesome on the levels I'm talking about. So number 2 is the needs. What are their needs? Third is target. I really think that most lead magnets don't target a specific problem. They're more general, they're broad, they're high category, they're not very specific to a problem the customer is having. And it doesn't provide a solution. So if you know their problem, you need to provide the solution in the same lead magnet. And you need to speak to that as the value if they exchange their email for your content. And then finally, you need to focus on a customer segment. Okay? So truly the targeted aspect, the third step, targeted, making sure that it's for a specific customer segment. If you do these 3 things, I'm going to teach you how to verify them. If you do 1, focus on a fear. 2, make sure that it's an urgent need. And 3, really target it towards a specific problem, a specific solution, and a specific segment. you will build a great lead magnet that converts and gets you qualified customers. Now, here's the way you test it. Okay, this is my tip, is go on Amazon and search the topic that you're thinking about doing a lead magnet on and see if there's a book title on it. Because that, especially like a dummies book, if you look online around book titles, people that have pains and have needs and really want them solved today, those are the kind of pieces of content that end up being a great book. So if you can find books that have already been written and have like several titles on the topic, that's usually a thumbs up for a great piece of content like a lead magnet. Now, the other thing you want to do is make sure that people are running ads against that topic. So here's how it works. You actually take the exact same topic, let's say puppy training, and you go on Google and you search that. Is anybody running ads against that topic or that keyword or that segment? Because if they're not, it's telling you that there's not enough demand, or it doesn't speak to the specific problem that's an urgent that somebody's going to be willing to click and convert. It also tells you that you can't monetize that pain as well as something else that might be more a passion or an interest or a strong desire. You need something that is fear-based. Unfortunately, that's just the way. I mean, most people don't buy things unless it's going to solve a problem, so you need to connect with that. And then really make sure that it's an urgent need today. It's not a nice to have. And testing it through Amazon, through books, titles, and if there's ads run against that topic on Google, that's your opportunity to build an incredible lead magnet for your SaaS business that converts great customers that are in market and ready to buy. As per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next week. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channels for other tips and strategies on how to start and grow your business. I'd also encourage you to join my newsletter for community contests, free entrepreneurial training, and other exclusive invites. And if you're ready to keep going, I've got 2 videos queued up, ready for you right there. I'll see you next week.